And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Tori Anderson and the Wyatt Williams. Tonight you can find us at manhour_Buck, manhour_TWW, and of course manhour_Tori, all active on the Twitter machines every now and then. Me and Tori are more active than Wyatt and Combs put together single-handedly, but we'll address that another day because their Twitter game is weak, much like the Philadelphia's schedule this season. Pretty weak because they had one of the worst records in the NFL. But the NBA playoffs is right around the corner here, and we have some teams that are getting hot and some teams that are just kind of starting to shoot the shit right in their buttholes into the toilets. With that being said, Wyatt, who's hot right now in the NBA?
Yeah, who's hot? My first team starting it off, the Miami Heat. They are 7-3 out of their last 10. Jimmy Butler is kind of getting the team back on strides. He is what's going to have to lead this team if they're going to do absolutely anything at any point in this playoffs. And they're currently sitting at 6th in the East, so just outside of that play-in tournament. They're just inside of having a guaranteed spot. And pretty much in the East, if you're in, you got a shot at it right now because there's really only one top-heavy team. You've at least got a shot at going to the Eastern Conference Finals and competing to go to the finals. So in a division where it is, or not a division, excuse me, in a conference where you can get yourself to the finals the easiest rather than the West, they are currently starting to get things together. Like I said, 7 wins out of their last 10. It's currently 6th in the East.
So, Wyatt, let me ask you this quick question here. The NBA playoffs are a tad bit different this year with the 7 through 10 teams having to play in a single round or a single game to basically make it into the tournament here. It is like
they did it last year too.
Well, but like the COVID season, you just kind of just throw it out. Like it was just basically just to make money at the end of the day. But if you are the Miami Heat, would you almost rather be the 7th seed and kind of get that first playoff game like under your belt and get into the playoffs, and then the 6th seed and kind of just like hanging around? Because looking at the standings right now, and let me pull it up. It looks like they might be playing like the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. Do you think they can even have a shot with the Atlanta Hawks?
Yeah, definitely. I think they have a shot with the Atlanta Hawks. And honestly, no, I don't think they want to be in that play-in tournament. There's a lot of teams that could benefit from it, getting that extra game in to kind of get themselves ready. But the Heat, after dealing with all the injuries, dealing with all the just everything going on with them right now, dealing with all that, they don't need any more help right now. If they can get into the tournament, that would be huge for them and for them to move in.
So I actually misspoke here. It looks like they will be playing the Bucks in the first round.
I was going to say
your Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, I was about to say
Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, I was about to say because I was like, aren't they the 6th seed? I was like, I think the Hawks are the 5th seed.
Bucks are the 3 seed right now. Did we overtake the 2 seed? Because we did just beat Wyatt's NBA champion pick of the net. So
I did not pick them to win at all. I am going to the finals. That's it. I have the Lakers winning it all. They'll get it all back together.
Who else is hot for you, Wyatt?
Who else is hot? Well, leave no other answer than right here. Drew says Knicks. I'll tell you what, Drew, you're 100% correct. The Knicks are currently 9-1 in the last 10, and this is the second time in a row they've been 9-1 in their last 10. They're 4th in the East, and they're in a really good spot, and they're playing really good basketball right now. And it is like it's like a Knicks team that I've never seen before. It didn't make sense. And for the first time, I think in my life, I can actually say the Knicks have a shot at going to the finals with LeBron out of the East, with Jordan out of the East, and they've got a decent team now. I'll give it to them. They've done a really good job of drafting. RJ's starting to come full swing. Kevin Knox is starting to come full swing. Julius Randle is a completely different animal. I mean, it's almost like he's not even the same player as what he was. I saw a poll the other day that they took at a Lakers game between Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Julius Randle whenever they were all there in Lakerland, and it was like, which of these do you think will be the most successful? And I think Lonzo Ball had the most votes. Then after that, it all went down. But like, I think only Julius Randle got the least amount of votes with 8%, and it's like, boys, everybody kicking themselves now because he turned out to be the best of all of them. But Julius Randle playing out of his mind right now, and the team is following right behind him. So they're playing really good basketball. 9-1, 4th in the East, sitting in a really good spot.
They are 9-1 in their last 10, But looking at their schedule moving forward, they play the Memphis Grizzlies, the Denver Nuggets, the Suns, the Clippers, and then the Lakers here in the next week and a half. So it all could come crashing back down to reality pretty soon here, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It could.
I'm just trying to figure out. You said the Knicks have a shot. So then you mentioned Jordan. Jordan hasn't been in the league for over 20 years.
Yeah, I know it. And the Knicks haven't had a shot in over 20 years.
Actually, though, during that era, they went to the finals with Ewing and all them.
Did they win?
They did not win. They did not win, but they made a finals.
They did. And wasn't it the year that Jordan sat out, right?
Yeah, what it was after he retired. So they
Yeah.
because they lost to
So
the
they
Knicks
didn't have
lost to the Rockets.
They didn't have to see. I mean, that's what I was trying to get. They don't have to worry about Jordan, and then they had to worry about LeBron in the East too. So that.
But they do got
Well,
to
they
I
were
was
never-
referencing your generation too, Tori.
They
all right.
have never been good since LeBron's been in the league, though.
Yeah. Oh, they
They've
had
been
a couple good
awful.
years with Carmelo and like D Rose and when J.R. Smith, was smoking at least a little less weed.
Derrick Rose was in Chicago when those guys were still in New York.
and Joakim Noah was there too. No, they had a little bit of time where they all played together.
Yeah. No, D
it
Rose.
was, what, one season? Two
No,
seasons?
I don't think D Rose was ever there when they were all there.
D Rose might have missed him, but I know Carmelo was, and I know J.R. Smith was, and I know Joakim
Melo,
Noah was.
Jr. and Joakim were there, but they were never a serious threat ever. Like they were going to
Would
make the playoffs, but they were never. They would win 50 games every year and get bounced in the second round.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Wyatt,
no,
so
that's
who is your last team that is hot?
Yeah, so my last team also going 9-1 out of their last 10. Excuse me. They're third in the West. That's going to be the Denver Nuggets. They have handled this injury of Jamal Murray, which I thought was going to be the end of their season, and it still essentially is going to be. Because without him, that's a huge piece they're missing, and they won't be the same team without him. I am very impressed with the way they've handled the injury with him being out for the rest of the year. Joker's really stepping it up, and I really think that he is solidifying himself as the MVP if Steph Curry does not win it because, you know what they say, you got to, be top 4 to win an MVP. Of course, I don't know why, but you do. Steph Curry definitely deserves it. But anyways, Joker will probably get it, and 9-1 out of their last 10, third in the West, putting themselves in a really good spot to lose to a 6 seed in the West.
You say that Joker has kind of stepped up in like leading this team, but I think the unsung hero for this team in the last couple games at least has been Michael Porter Jr. Like I didn't think this guy was going to manifest much to be in the NBA after his he had back surgery in college, right, and sat pretty much out the whole.
Yeah, he had some back injuries and stuff.
and-
I think he only played 8 games at Missouri his entire time while there, and still was a lottery pick. MPJ is a really good player. And if injuries could get away from him, he'd be really good. He would be a sensational
He's
player.
playing pretty good now, right now.
Yeah,
The
he
thing
is.
is, though,
man.
if you watch the playoffs last year, though, that was his coming out party last year in the playoffs. He had a really good playoff run last year, so it's all just kind of starting to come together on a more consistent basis with him these days.
Yeah,
All right, so why
starting to kind of chain it together.
So just to review here, your 3 hot teams in the NBA right now are the Nuggets, Knicks, and of course the Miami Heat.
The Heat are hot. Yep.
Do any of them make a finals run? No. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to the opposite side of Heat. It's cold. Who is cold?
Well, starting it off, third coldest team out there right now is going to be the Portland Trailblazers. 5-5 out of their last 10. Only the not good splitting, especially this time of the year, especially where they're sitting at 6 in the West. You've got to get this together because if you don't, you're going to be facing a play-in tournament. It's that simple. So the Trailblazers currently sitting in 6th in the West. Dame is, I don't know what it is. They just can't piece together a bunch of wins. They're kind of struggling over their last 10. They've had 5 good wins, but also 5 losses to kind of drag it down as well. So nothing too impressive from them so far.
Right. On the bright side for them is that the Lakers are kind of a duck on the pond. They may look calm on the surface, but they are a sinking ship right now. LeBron James has basically said that he will never be healthy ever again. And then that the guy Schroeder, right? He is out for 14 days for the whole COVID protocol. So right now they don't have a healthy shooting guard on their lineup. So hopefully that will help the Trailblazers out a little bit going forward here. who is next on your cold list?
Yeah, next is going to be, we're heading back to the East here. That's going to be the Atlanta Hawks. They're 5-5 out of the last 10, the exact same. Currently sitting at 5th in the East. They've dropped back from 4th to 5th now. And the Hawks are a team where they could become a threat in the playoffs. They could have one of those runs. They've got a solid enough lineup. I don't think they will, but they are definitely a team that could do it. For sure. So Atlanta is a good team. They've got Trey. He is a wild shooter. He knocks down everything once he crosses the half-court line, and a stout roster around him behind that. So could be playing better, not playing better. Like same situation as the Trailblazers. One had 5 good wins, but also 5 losses that are really dragging them down as well.
Yeah, I think the Hawks are probably the most overrated team right now in the playoff picture. They could easily be like an 8 or 9 seed and lose that first round playing game. They just do not look good right now at all.
The Hawks need a coach. They need a coach that can actually bring that team together, because I don't know what they're doing there. This team has way too much talent to be as bad as they are.
Exactly.
All right, who is next on your cold list, Wyatt?
Well, my most cold team of the league. I don't think it's any surprise here. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They're 7th in the West right now. Just dropped out of it, and it's going to be the Lakers. I mean, they are struggling, and LeBron just came back from injury and still struggling. Anthony Davis comes back from injury, and what happens? He gets dunked on first play right into the game. So it's like, geez, where have these chumps been? And they show up and they're not playing good at all. Then you mentioned Schroeder's going to be out for a little bit. The talented roster, it's just really not performing to the level that it should be. Montrezl Harrell and company tried to hold down the fort the best they could. Caruso had a sick dunk last night. I loved it, but at the same time, sick dunks don't generate wins.
So,
ask Vince Carter about that.
So let me ask you this question here. We saw Combs posted a quote of LeBron James at this time last year and then this time this year. Basically, he's saying the playing games are absolutely stupid. Right now, the Lakers are on a downward trajectory to be in those playoff games.
Yep.
With LeBron James coming out and saying that they're stupid, if the Lakers are in the playoff game, is their season over with?
No, definitely not. Even if they enter as a 7 seed, I still think they win it all. I mean,
who's currently the 10 that they would play?
Is the Spurs at 10?
No, they wouldn't play the 10. They'd play the 8, wouldn't they?
Yes. So
they wouldn't play the 10. You're right.
No,
7, 10, 8, 9.
No. It's 10 versus 9, and then the winner of that plays the loser of 7 and 8. And so the winner of the 7 and 8 game get the 7th seed, and then the winner of the 9, 10 will play the 8th for the 8th seed.
So the Western Conference play-in tournament right now is the Lakers, Grizzlies, Warriors, and Spurs. So Lakers 7, Grizzlies 8, Warriors 9, Spurs 10. Man, I told you guys last week on who's hot, who's not. The Spurs were going to start dropping, and the Pelicans sitting 2 games behind them right now look hungry. Pelicans are, like I said, they have 29 wins. The Spurs have 31. They are just 2 short games right behind that. And if you allow the Pelicans in, the Pelicans can seriously make it to that 8 seed. I think the Pelicans could beat the Spurs and then beat either the Grizzlies or the Warriors, whoever it may be in that spot. So I think they have a real shot at doing that.
They might have a real shot of making it, but they are not going to make it past the first round. Let's just be flat out honest. So they're just basically wasting all their talent and like picks at the end of the day, right?
No.
No? They're not?
I'm just kidding. No. Spurs haven't done anything since Tim Duncan was there. Just
I was
simple.
talking about the Pelicans.
No.
At the Pelicans.
Pelicans?
The playoffs. They're losing.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Spurs. No. If you're talking about the Pelicans, yes, then I agree with you. I think that they are definitely wasting the talent that they have right now, not playing to the capability they have. I mean, you've got Brandon Ingram, one of the top young players in the league. You've got Zion Williamson, arguably the future face of this league. You've got Lonzo Ball, who is, the best IQ basketball player in the league that isn't named LeBron James right now. So,
right.
And he might even be more basketball IQ than LeBron James. I doubt it. Maybe. He's 1 or 2 though, that's for sure. And for as young as he is, he's a great passer. The 3 ball is really developing for Alonzo Ball right now as well. So yes, you're 100% right. There is absolutely no excuse for this Pelicans team to be struggling at the way they are.